All right, welcome to, we could call this Christmas Day Yoga 2022 for future reference. And I've just come off a couple of days of being a little laid low with some kind of cold, so my energy's a little subdued. So we'll see where that takes us in today's class. And what I notice is when I do practice, when I'm feeling a little subdued, I start with all sorts of good intention, sitting up nice and tall, open posture, breathing through the nose. But what I like to try and do when I feel this way is just to allow the way I am to be as it is. So not to force anything to happen. If my energy starts to collapse, I go with that, and if it starts to build, I go with that. So in today's class, seeing how we're revolving around my energy level, if you feel that your energy level needs a bit more pizzazz, you can add a few logs to the fire. If you feel like it's suiting you, you can stay there, and if you feel like you need a little less intensity, you can. Relax the shoulders and smile. Let each new breath grow a little deeper. And imagine you're the one still point in the whole universe. Everything else is moving about you. Events coming and going, friends, family, moving, planets spinning, and you're right in the center of that. Become so still that you become aware of the space between the breaths. And rather than letting the space between the breaths feel airy and unconnected, start to feel that gravitational pull. Just like a dark hole in space has a tremendous gravitational pull, feel this pull your interest, your curiosity into the space between the breaths. That point where you stop breathing in before you start breathing out. That point where you finish breathing out before you breathe in. So 2 pauses with every breath. Sometimes we feel this pause as an inconsequential point in our experience, where nothing's happening, nothing's appearing to happen. But like all pauses, all holidays, all rests, a lot happens in that rest time. The body integrates and catches up, digests, heals. And we'll add some gentle movement to that as you inhale. Float the hands above the head. Feel the pause. And then release the pause as you exhale. Float the hands down. Dropping the chin towards the chest and tucking the tailbone, creating a gentle stretch in the back body. Inhale, reach up. Feel the pause. Feel the pause, the quality of the pause when your breath is full. And then release, exhale. Tuck the tailbone and hold the breath out empty. A different quality to the pause. Continue on with the pauses, inhaling, lifting, reaching up. Stay with the pause as long as feels natural or comfortable, and then release. Either inhale or exhale, depending on which pause you're absorbed in. And all of our rhythms could be quite different. It can change from how much you've been eating, how you've been feeling. The next time you inhale, keep the arms above the head, interlace the fingers and reach up a little higher so you feel that little stretch through the ribs. As you lift high, you feel the belly lift up. Feel the breath here and notice the pauses between the breaths. On the next inhale, let it be gentle, but hold the breath intentionally a little longer. And then exhale into a release, a twist to the left. Bring the left hand behind the back, right hand crosses the midline of the body. Feel this new shape. As the sensations become less distracting, notice the pause between the breaths and start to move the head to the right, exhaling completely. Notice the pause at the end of the exhale, and then inhale, turn the head to the left. Hold the pause and the end point of the turn, and then exhale when ready. So your exhale takes you to the right, your inhale takes you to the left. And the pauses hold you just for the amount of time in between. Exhale, release, unwind. And then twisting to the right this time, changing the rhythm of the breath. So the inhale will take you to center, chin over chest. And the exhale will turn the head towards that left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhaling, turning to the right shoulder. And continue on one breath, one turn. A little different from the previous sequence. Let yourself marinate in the pauses as long as you can. That feels delicious, not forced. The next time you come to neutral, pause and release. Inhale, floating the arms above the head, feeling that lateral stretch in the sides of the ribs as you reach up. Exhale, drop the left hand to the left onto the floor or a block. Leaning in, let the ear come down towards the shoulder and reach over. When you acclimate to these new sensations, start to bring your attention back to the pauses between the breaths. Inhale, come up. Exhale, dropping the opposite arm to the floor or block, leaning into that side. Maybe making little micro movements inside the pause of the breaths. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come back to meditation. And notice the impact of the 6 directions of the spine. And breath retention, in and out. Come onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to start with some hip circles, nice and gentle here. Almost like the belly button is drawing a circle on your mat. As the hips come into a circular orbit, start to let the nose circumscribe its circle. So the neck is drawing a circle, or the head is drawing a circle, and the hips. Add your breath retentions, holding the breath in and out just for a few seconds, and notice what it's like to move in a circular orbit with no breath happening. Pause. Start to orbit the opposite direction. Start with the belly, and then move to the nose, and then move to the pauses between the breaths. The pauses between the breaths create a silence in the body, where you might notice little nuances of experience you don't normally notice. The next time you come to center, pause, widen the knees and come back to child pose. Come back to the pause between the breaths. Extend the left arm and thread the right, bringing the right shoulder, the right side of the head onto the ground, creating a little twisting sensation in child. Keeping the right arm extended, bring the left hand back towards the face, push into the left hand, rolling the weight of the body onto the right knee, the right shoulder, and straighten the left leg out. Some of you might like to play with balance here, lifting the leg, lifting the hand. Come back to child pose when you're ready. Letting everything go. Come back to the pause and the breaths. Relax that right side. Come back to all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's do a little cat and cow here, just noticing how the body is feeling. Exhale, come back to child pose. Extend the right arm, thread the left. Feel the sensations in threaded needle. Focus on the space between the breaths and notice if that changes anything. Slide the right hand back towards the head, pushing the weight into the left side, extend that right leg. And if you want to play with balance, you can play with lifting the right limbs. Exhale, release into child. Let everything go. Inhale, slowly lift the torso, come into Vajrasana, Thunderbolt pose, feeling the shins and feet stretch out. Use blocks underneath if that helps. Check in with your energy, whether it needs a little more stimulation or if there's different parts of the body that are calling for your attention. I can feel after all this resting and lying down, my hip flexors want a little bit more opening. So inhale, come to all fours, cat and cow. Extend the left leg back, drop the ball of the foot, press out through the heel bone. And then leaning into that right knee, right hand, bring the left hand up to the hip, opening up the chest to one side. Let's try a little balance here, shall we? Just keep playing around with the positions, lifting that left foot to the sky. If you can, bend that left knee, grab the left shin and open up into a little quadricep stretch here. Push the left hip forward, left shoulder blade back, arching the back, opening up that left hip flexor. Exhale, release slowly into child. Let everything go. Inhale, tabletop. Extend the left leg again. Drive out through the heel bone. Lift that left foot into the sky. Knee and toes pointing towards the ground. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Add the right hand into bird dog. Exhale, double crunch, elbow to navel, knee to head. Inhale, extend. And then bend the left knee once again. Capture the foot or the ankle with that right hand. Arch the back. Lift the knee, lift the foot. Exhale, release into child. And once again, coming up to tabletop, cat and cow. Extend the right leg back. Push through the heel. Feel that delicious stretch in the calf muscle. Start to play with your balance here as you balance onto the left knee, left hand, right hand on hip. You might play around a bit here, right shoulder back. Start to play with the balance as you lift the right foot up. And you might bend the right knee and capture the right foot or shin or ankle and open up the right hip here by pushing the top hip forward, squeezing the top shoulder blade back, arching the back. Whoops. You might stumble, you might not. When you're ready, come back to child. Inhale, tabletop, cat and cow. Once again, noticing cat and cow. Can you add your breath retention and just feel the pause as you hold cow and hold cat? Hold the extremes of those poses in the stillness of the body. Extend the right leg once again, drive through the heel bone. Float the right foot up, extend out through the heel bone. Exhale, crunch, head to knee. Inhale, extend the left arm. Double crunch, elbow to navel, knee to head. Inhale, extend, and then capture, escort that right foot back to the buttocks. And then arch the back, lifting the knee, the foot, the heart, the chin. Exhale, release into child. Let go completely into child pose. Let everything pour into the earth. Come back through Vajrasana, Thunderbolt pose. And bring the arms out to the side. Hug yourself so that the left elbow is underneath the right. Bring the hands together into eagle arms. And then exhale, prostrate forward, bowing the head towards the ground into eagle surrender. Really allowing the back of the body to stretch open here. Slowly come up and release. Extend the arms once again, and then hugging yourself, right elbow underneath, opposite elbow underneath. Bringing the hands together. And this time, lifting the elbows, lifting the heart, lifting the chin, coming into a little back bend. Exhale, release, and notice. Relax the shoulders a little more as you turn the head to the right. Inhale the head to neutral, exhale the head to the left. Come onto all fours. Curl the toes this time and lift the knees, pressing back into an easy down dog. You can walk the dog out. Even though it's an easy dog, keep moving the hips back, keeping the back long, keeping the arms long. Keep walking your dog until your dog becomes still and even. Lift the right foot to the sky, three-legged dog. Step the right foot to the right hand, drop the left knee, keep the hands under the heart. Extend the toes to the left foot. And start to draw a circle with the belly button on the mat. And then start to let the nose draw its circle. So you feel these circular orbits in dragon pose. Orbit the other way. And then slowly walk the hands up to the thigh. Left hand on hip. Push that left hip forward, right hip back. Lift the right hand. Then reach forward with the left hand. Drop the right hand behind you, look back at that right hand. Inhale, bring both hands above the head, kneeling warrior. Keep the left hand extended above the head, bring the right hand forward. And then drop the left hand behind you, looking back. Exhale, come back through. Kneeling warrior, and then down to child pose. Let everything go. Inhale, tabletop, curling the toes, downward dog. Walk your dog into stillness. Find your dog on this side. This time lifting the left foot high to the sky, a three-legged dog. Step the left foot forward, drop the right knee. Find dragon. Right toes extended if possible. Let's go right into this, the groin here on this side as you start to create circular orbits with the belly button and the nose. other way. Pause and then walk your hands up onto the left thigh. You can always pad that back knee if you need to. Right hand, right hip, push that right hip forward. Left hand to heaven. Keep that right hip forward as you reach right hand forward. Drop the back hand behind you. Look back to that left hand. Reach up, kneeling warrior. This time left hand comes forward. Right hand comes back. Breathe. If you can connect to the spaces between the breath, do so. And then exhale, come back through kneeling warrior. One more time. Come down to child and let everything go. And then come onto your sit bones, feet towards the top of the mat. If you have a bolster handy, grab a bolster. If you don't, use a block or a rolled up blanket. And before you come down onto your back, just notice how you're feeling. And then gently come down onto the back and bring the bolster underneath the hips into a supported bridge there. Turn the head to the left. And then the right. Hug both knees in towards the ribs, head neutral. Extend the heels to heaven, grab the hamstrings, and just hold that extension. Hold that release in the back of the legs. Push the thighs apart into the splits. Keep the heels back. Bring the heels back towards each other. And bend the right knee, cross the right ankle over that left knee, and dangle your left shin. So you can enjoy this just as it is. You can pull the figure four in closer with the hands. You can wrap the hands around the left shin. All sorts of variations here. see what it's like to play with that variation a little more. Slide the right knee over the left knee. And hug both knees back towards you. Lift the head for a moment, and if you can reach the opposite ankles, reach down for the opposite ankles and pull the dangled shins back towards you. You can always use a strap over the left ankle if you can't reach that left ankle. I'm going to try and open up the front body here. Walk your hands down towards the toes. Drop your knees away from you, as if they're melting away from you. And start to arch the back. Walk the shoulder blades closer to the bolster. And endeavor to push both knees as far away from you as you can. Exhale, release slowly. Let both legs extend out. Let the hands flop beside you, palms face up. Let's try the other side. Bend the knees and cross the left ankle over the right knee, figure four. Pick up the figure four and hug the figure four towards the ribs. Use any variation you like here. If you want more sensation, you can create it by the way you grip the shin or the figure four. When your sensations feel less distracting, bring your attention to the space between the breaths. And what I like to do with the space between the breaths is add a little more tension between the breaths. And then from here, slide that left knee over the right knee. Grab the knees and pull back. This will affect your digestion. Massaging the belly. And if you can, slide your hands down to the opposite ankles, and you can start to pull them back now into a new release in the glute on the left side. Once again, between the breaths, you might add a little more intensity and see what happens. Now opening up the hip flexors, move the hands towards the toes and start to let the knees melt away, move away. Arch the back. Exhale, release. And bring the soles of the feet together. Knees splay out to the side, knees are bent. And the pinky toe side of the foot on the ground. Inhale, lift the hips up and remove the bolster, but keep the hips in the air. Stay in butterfly pose. Relax the shoulders and lift a little bit more. And then slowly come down. Buttocks on the ground, hands out to the sides. Stand the right foot on the left and close the knees into clamshell, but keep the arms grounded so you keep that twist as you close the clamshell. Turn the head to the right. Inhale the head to neutral, come back to butterfly. And then stand left foot on right, close the clamshell to the other side, keeping the arms grounded. Turn the head to the left. Bring the head to neutral, release the clamshell and come into Shavasana. And let all breathing techniques fall away. Keep your attention on the breath without trying to manipulate it. And once again, bring your attention to the space between the breaths in Shavasana, without trying to extend them or force them.
effort to control the breath. And see if you can relax into the space between the breaths even more. Clasp the hands above the heart. And start to rub the heel palms together, creating a warm friction. When you feel the heat build up, unclasp the hands and rest the heel palms over the eyelids. Release the heel palms from the eyelids and take the finger pads and simply press all over the face, the cheekbones, temples, the skull. Around the ears. Clasping the hands behind the head, bend the knees. Bring the low back onto the floor. Knees can even touch if you like. Exhale, lift the skull up, wrap the arms around the skull and give a gentle traction to the neck. And then curl over onto one side, curl up into a little ball. And gently press up to a comfortable seat. Tall spine, relaxed demeanor.
And notice once again the space between the breaths at the end of your practice. Feel that gratitude for this vacuum between the breaths, this space where the exhale becomes inhale and the inhale becomes exhale, where they meet. You should bring your hands together at this joyous time of the year. Let the head bow in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you.